We are what? We are who? We are what? Vibrant. We are who? 50 plus. Hi, welcome to Gray Lives on the Rise. I am your host, Professor Jamila Franklin, and we are coming to you from Oyende Enterprises, being sponsored by Jamila Sense, which is our product line of aromatherapy products that helps heal the mind, body, and soul. And we are bringing to you Alamaj's rebirthing program, as well as Jamila Sense and a host of wonderful programs that will help heal your body, heal your soul, and heal your mind. 50 plus people, we are here to stay. Gray Lives on the Rise. We are what? We are who? We are vibrant, and we are here to stay. Join us for our wonderful episodes. Thank you, and continue to look for our episodes weekly, being brought to you again from Oyende Enterprises and Jamila Sense. See you soon. Greetings, everyone. Welcome again to Gray Lives on the Rise. Okay, with Professor Jamila Franklin and the lovely Doris, whom I'm going to bring in a few minutes. First of all, I have to give you some background information about what Gray Lives on the Rise is all about. It is something that I came up with when I was walking. I am an exercise enthusiast, so I was walking about 2 years ago, and this download came, and it basically said, there's nothing out there that deals with your demographic. And I thought about it, and I said, that's true, except Medicare, AARP. AARP is a magnificent organization, but people think of people who've been retired or who are sedentary, and that is as far from the truth as day is from night in terms of what they do. However, that's the image and stereotype that people have. And so I said, I'm not sedentary, nor are my friends. And then what? Medicare. Medicare usually brings up the image of people who are on medications and prescription drugs. There's nothing wrong with that. That's not my reality. So I said, okay, let me think of something. And then the information was like, okay, you need to have a name, you need to have some adjectives that correctly describe who you guys are, and you need to have a store and a podcast. So I thought about, okay, Gray Lives Matter. I said, nah, that's overused. And then I said, well, what about Gray Lives on the Rise? I said, bingo. Lives and rise rhyme, and your hair doesn't have to be gray. Doris's hair is beautiful. It can be any color, no hair, short hair, long hair, doesn't matter. It's a consciousness. It's a consciousness. And then I said, okay, we have to start relanguaging how we view ourselves. We're not old, we're not elderly, we're not decrepit, we're not over the hill. We are seasoned. We are mature, we're golden, we're full of life, we are vibrant. That's who we are. So I said, okay, that sticks. And then he said, okay, you have the name, but you also need to have something that is going to stick with people, like merchandise. And I said, okay. So we have cups, we have mugs, we have shirts like mine, like I said, Gray Lives on the Rise. We have hoodies, we have journals, we have everything, floor mats. Then the next thing was the podcast. I said I wanted to have a podcast that spoke to people who are 50 plus, because when you hit the 50s, people tend to push you to the side and gaslight you and treat you as if you don't have a brain in your head. Mind you, you own the businesses that they work for, but they try to gaslight you. And I've talked to people from around the world, because you know what? This is a global movement. It's not national, it's global. And everyone that I've had on the show has said the same thing, that he or she has felt marginalized. So we have people, I've had people on the show from Serbia, which is in, Eastern Europe, Canada, Australia, New Zealand, the Netherlands, the UK, Haiti, the Philippines, Costa Rica. We've had people from all parts of the world, and they all are saying the same thing, that they felt marginalized. And so what I do is I make sure that their stories are told about whatever, because we don't relate to the same things as people in their 20s, 30s, and 40s. Been there, done that. Our goals and our interests are very, very different. So, and having said that, we're able to provide a platform for people who have their own businesses to sell their products to like-minded people, to tell their stories to like-minded people. And we are going into our second year. Can you believe that? When I first started out, I thought it was just like a dream. And then it started to manifest, and now almost a year and a half later, it's just blossomed. We have men, women, it's multiracial, multi-ethnic, multi-religious, and like I said, it's global. So I'm going to talk a little bit about who I am. I am a certified Reiki master, a certified aromatherapist, a college professor of psychology, an award-winning author, a holistic health life coach and job coach. I coach people in gaining employment. And I'm also a healing ancestral trauma specialist. That's one of my fortes. So a lot of us are walking around with unhealed issues that we inherited from our ancestors. Call on me, that's what I do. And so I'm going to introduce the product that's underwriting this episode, because you know everything has a cost. One of my products, Peace Be Still, is my aromatherapy product, and it is amazing. All right, I'll just show you. It's very clear. All of my products are natural or natural. So you just put drops, 3 drops in your hand, and then you rub your palms together, and you just blow up to euphoria. And you put the rest on your arms, because it gets rid of flies and mosquitoes, gets rid of stress, anxiety, depression, hyperactivity within children, sinus congestion, sinus headaches, migraine headaches, all of those issues it would get rid of. And you don't take it by mouth. You only put it in the palms of your hands and in your bath water. So it's amazing. Check out the website, Oyende Enterprises. O like an orange, Y like in young, I like an independent, N like a neighbor, D like in dog, E like an elephant, Enterprises, ENTERPRISES.com, OyendeEnterprises.com. And Great Lives on the Rise is my newest baby, and it's parked right there on the parent company website. Oyende Enterprises is the parent company. When you click on that link, you will see Great Lives on the Rise as one of the companies. You click on that, and your answers to your worries are over. Age-appropriate, conscientious, sincere people who are 50 plus, and we're growing by leaps and bounds. We have over 10,000 to 15,000 views, and we're growing. Thanks to you. Thanks to you. Thank you. So having said all that, I'm now going to introduce you to our lovely guest, and you're going to be impressed, amazed, and you will contact her. Okay? Our guest today is Doris Shannon. Her specialty is consciousness coaching, and she's based in LA, lovely Atlanta. You thought I was going to say California. No, LA, lovely Atlanta. Okay, she's the founder of Deep Coaching Portal. As founder, Doris creates and delivers programs that help clients successfully make their unconscious mind conscious. and learn how to reprogram what is unconsciously no longer serving them. Did you know so many people are operating from their unconscious part of their minds? You know, and let me give you an example. You get in your car, and it's on the weekend, and you automatically go the route you would go as if you were working. People do that all the time. After a rich, full 30-year career as a human resources executive for organizations including the Weather Channel, Sun America, Cotton States Insurance, Timex Corporation, and Blue Cross of Michigan, Doris was prepared to live her life's purpose and passions. Her life's work began as career coach, executive coach, and a retirement success coach. Now, utilizing the extensive global research and methodologies of PhDs, Doris designs programs that help clients understand and activate their ability to manage the power of their subconscious mind. Programs include Conversations with Your Subconscious Mind Group, Break Free from Limiting Beliefs 101, Find True Purpose 101, podcast series, Reprogram Your Mind. And so some of her previous programs have been Learn How to Love the Voices in Your Head. She did this at Emory University. Finding True Purpose 101, Becoming Ageless Workshops. Calling All Introverts Online Seminar. Type and Teamwork, she did at Morehouse College. And she has different links that she would talk about too. She's a neuro-linguistics programmer and practitioner. She's a facilitator training, certified inspired learning facilitator. Her group coach training involves group coaching mastery, the grad school of coaching, Coachella. No, what am I saying? Coachville.com, not Coachville, Coachville.com. And Coactive Coach Training, which involves Coaches Training Institute, Registered Corporate Coach Training. So Doris Shannon is an executive coach who is going to share her pearls of wisdom with us today. And we are happy to have you, Doris. Thank you. And look at her beautiful colors to accentuate her beautiful skin tone. Isn't it beautiful? I love that color in the background. Love it, love it, love it, love it. Welcome, Doris. How are you?
I'm doing great, doing great. And I'm so impressed with your background as well.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. Well, we're so happy to have you here because all of your services are services that people can definitely benefit from seeking you out. And coaching is different than counseling. I do both. Coaching is pulling people out and taking the horse to water, but allowing the horse to drink on his own. Counseling, because I do both. You take the horse to water, then you pour the water in the horse's mouth. That's counseling.
That's counseling. Okay.
Yes, yes. So, Doris, let's talk about how you got into the field of coaching.
Well, as a human resource executive, I spent decades really trying to help organizations understand how to best utilize their employees. So I spent a lot of time working with individuals as well as the leaders of the corporation. But one of the things that's obvious to me now with hindsight, looking back, is most people don't fail because of skills or knowledge or ability. It's what their mind is saying to them or leading them to do that is more often the reason for their not being successful or leaving a job. So when I began to learn that the sciences had progressed to the point where there are methodologies for managing how your mind talks to you, I go,
Mhm.
I've got to learn how to teach people to do that. Because when your mind is supporting you, there's a freedom, there's joy. It brings clarity to your life. And when your mind is not supporting you, it sort of stops, blocks you, drains you, all of those kinds of things. So I want to help people become all they came here to be.
Mhm.
And most of us don't recognize that it's not the outer world that's stopping us. Often it's our inner world.
That's true. That's
And,
true.
and whoever told us that we could change how our mind talks to us? It was just not known.
Mhm. Mhm. But that's so very true. We are our biggest critics.
Yes.
We listen to that tape playing in our minds, and it's playing negative information. You can't do this. You're too old for that. You're too young. You're too tall. You're too dark. You're too light. You're too. And that's
Right.
part of the programming that we've been exposed to. Because if you feel well and whole and complete, you don't need to then buy clothes every year because a new styles come up. You're content with the clothes from before. You're not a conspicuous consumer. So they don't make their money if they can't have you thinking that you're not good enough. So that's the whole purpose, to have us thinking that we're not good enough and to doubt who we are.
And some of the other reasons that the research shows is that our mind is a powerful force, really to protect and serve us. So it
Mm-hmm.
it doesn't want us to fail or become embarrassed. So a lot of our minds, particularly our subconscious mind's behavior, is protective behavior.
Mm-hmm. I agree.
And that protection does not feel like protection any longer because it's our mind will do anything to stop us from doing what it doesn't believe we can do.
Mm-hmm.
Everything from creating a behavior of a procrastinator to really someone that just does not finish anything.
Yeah. Yeah.
But once you begin to understand how and why you form those unique thought patterns, then you can begin to invite those thought patterns to interact with you. Find out why they're behaving the way they are, and then update them.
Yeah.
They don't have to remain the same.
Yeah.
And so that's what all my services are about, are helping people discover what's going on inside of them, why, and learning techniques to update those behaviors of their mind.
Mm-hmm.
It's powerful.
Yeah. I think it's really, really important, particularly in these days and times, because so
Absolutely.
many things are external, outside of us, and people have no control over it. And it's done deliberately to have people feel powerless. So
Yes.
if you know who you are in the context of the universe and know that nothing on the outside of you can control you unless you give it the power.
Absolutely.
And it's a belief
Yeah.
system. So if you believe it, then that's your reality. There's nothing that I can do to dissuade you. If you don't believe it, then it can't affect you. But I think that's very, very important for people to understand. You have to do your inner work. No
Yes.
one can do it for you.
Yes. Yes. The kind of work that we do, you have to be ready.
Yeah.
And the inner work, everything from the mindfulness practices to guided visualizations, meditations, all of those things prepare you to be comfortable interacting with your mind. And
Hmm.
once you're comfortable, you can learn techniques to really update the behavior of your mind.
Hmm. So do you use techniques like meditation, visualization,
All
script?
of those things work, but the methodologies came from voice dialogue facilitation. I don't know if you've heard of that.
No.
Voice dialogue was created by two psychologists, Hal and Sidra Stone, who travel really through 19 countries over 35 years, confirming their methodology to help people to really change the behavior of their mind. And they train facilitators to do that. And that
Mm-hmm.
probably was the best thing to do, the first to train people to facilitate those kind of conversations. But
Mm-hmm.
there's been updates to that methodology that people can now update their own internal dialogue. And
Mm-hmm.
so I'm using that work, and it's called inner harmony.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so it's all based on the scientific research.
Mm-hmm. I think that a lot of people would love having this kind of exploration within their minds, within their psychic, to see what's holding me back. Does it have ancestral roots? Does it have roots from the culture? Does it have
Um,
roots from whatever? But what's
right,
holding me
my
back?
upbringing, my education,
Yeah.
all of those things are forming the behavior of our mind as we grow up. And some of those behaviors are embedded and they keep repeating in different, sort of like they morph. They don't protect us in the same way they did when we were 2, 3, or 10 years old,
Mm-hmm.
but they're still trying to protect us.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. I I think by delving into this philosophy and going deeper into how it can benefit people on a practical level
Yes.
is really, really critical. So let's take a case, a scenario
Okay.
using this methodology and walk us through from the beginning to the middle to the end to show people how effective it is.
Well, I start out by in my 6 session conversations with your subconscious mind. It's 6 sessions over 6 to 8 weeks, where the person first begins to understand the research.
Mm-hmm.
I bring both some videos that they can see as well as a conversation around the research that shows that, and it starts with Carl Jung, who I'm sure you know.
Oh yeah.
He was a Swiss psychologist who created this theory called active imagination.
Mm-hmm.
Now, active imagination, when you read his books, is not explained in detail.
Mm-hmm.
And my teachers, Hal and Sidra Stone, Hal actually worked for one of the Carl Jung Institutes back in his youth. So he understood the methodologies of the Myers-Briggs, and he turned that into what is happening beyond our preferences, which is our type, that actually creates who we are as we grow up.
Mm-hmm.
And he found that it is the energy of our minds that he calls selves. So that these different parts of our mind that he calls selves have different energies. And some of them become embedded energies, and they will stay with us for the rest of our lives
Mm-hmm.
until we identify them and begin to interact with them and update them. Something that has become critical can actually become more advisory or more coach-like, because that energy wants has a purpose. And if it can live its purpose and support you at the same time, it will change how it talks to you, how it creates thoughts within you, creates feelings within you, and behaviors. Because
Mm-hmm.
our choices, as you know, are primarily controlled by our subconscious mind.
They are, which are embedded. So you're pulling from that part of the brain that you don't even know exists, because a lot of people, I'll give you an example, when people do New Year's resolutions,
Yes,
they have very good intentions of breaking the cycle.
yes,
I will not eat chocolate cake. I will not eat chocolate cake, right? That's an affirmation that someone may come up with. But then what happens is day 3, they're eating chocolate cake. Because in the back of the mind, the subconscious mind is a silent listener.
Yes.
And it's saying, you can say that all you desire, but you're going to eat chocolate cake because you're going to depend on me, the default part of your brain. And it's a wrap. And they surely enough go back to doing it because they're not in touch with it. People do affirmations all the time and visualizations, but they're not dealing with the root cause of their pain.
Right.
So yeah, the subconscious mind is far more powerful than the conscious mind, because the conscious mind, you know, consciously you're going to walk down the street, then make a left. Subconscious mind is hidden and it's not as clear as to what it does.
Right. Right. Absolutely. And so in my program, I take them through actually having conversations with the energies that they want to really update. Um, and and actually getting documentation, so even after my course series, they can continue to practice. Because the one thing that, and I think you said something about this, if even if you change the behavior of your mind,
Mm-hmm.
unless you have a way of continuing to support that behavior, your mind will go back to what it knew when you were 2, 3, or 4 years old.
Mm-hmm.
So I take them through all of those steps, have them download an ebook that has all of the instructions to continue to learn and practice.
Mm-hmm.
And I do it in a way that I can give them feedback privately through
Mm-hmm.
Google Docs. I can't really tell you if what your mind is saying is right or wrong. How would I know?
Mm-hmm.
But I can suggest, is the energy that you wanted to talk to the one that's actually speaking? Because what I found with some of my clients, you may want to speak with an energy, let's say we'll call it your procrastinator. You want to change your procrastinator.
Mm-hmm.
But there may be a stronger, more powerful energy that doesn't want you to change that. It's scared it's scared.
Mm-hmm.
And it will break into a conversation that I'm facilitating with you. So you have to be able to recognize that all of this is going on, because our mind is such a powerful force. It will actually fool you into thinking, "Oh, I am your procrastinator," and it's not.
Mm-hmm.
So I help people by giving them feedback to really look at how their mind is talking to them, because it's just like a conversation.
Mm-hmm.
And
Mm-hmm.
one of the things that was difficult for me, and I think this is probably true for people who are have attention deficit disorder, your mind talks to you so fast that you're not recognizing what it's saying. So the methodology that works for me, and I suggest that people use it is to record using it's called word type in, I think, in Windows,
Mm-hmm.
that you actually speak what your mind is saying. And when I speak what my mind is saying, I get a record of it,
Mm-hmm.
because often you want to go back and talk to that same energy again, and you can say, "And last time we talked, you said ABC," because you've got a record of it.
Mm-hmm.
I want to go back and really continue that conversation, because our energies, like our procrastinators, are really often very, very, very powerful.
Yeah.
And that it's trying to protect you from failure in a lot of cases.
Yeah.
And it doesn't know that you need perhaps the experience of failure to get better. So rather than criticize you or tell you you can't do that, to convince your mind to be more of an advisor to you.
Mm-hmm.
And when your thoughts are more advisory, they're not as painful, and they're often more supportive. And
Mm-hmm.
because I personally experienced, as I was learning this methodology, what I thought was my learner, which was the
Mm-hmm.
strong energy within me, started to criticize me.
Oh yeah, that's the inner critic.
It told me I would never know enough to teach people this methodology.
Mm-hmm.
And one of the things I had read from in one of Hal and Citra Stone's book is that our inner critic is our most intelligent mental energy.
Oh, yeah. It's been with you all your life.
And it sometimes partners with other mental energies.
Mm-hmm.
And it turned my learner, which was my positive mental energy, into my critic.
Mm-hmm.
So I had a conversation with my learner, convincing it that I was really appreciated all it had done for me my whole life, but I needed it to become more of an advisor to me now rather than a critic.
Mm-hmm.
Now, sometimes you have to create conditions by which you can change the behavior of an energy as well. And I teach that as well in my sessions. And so because it was so important, because one of the things I learned is that things get stored in our subconscious mind because it was emotionally powerful in our life.
Right, right.
It was emotionally powerful in a positive way,
It's like
and
the marker.
it was emotionally powerful in some sort of challenge that you experienced in life.
Mm-hmm. It's a marker.
Yes, and so unless you have an emotional need to change that energy, it may not listen to you because it's
Mm-hmm.
got to be important to you, or your mind is going, I don't believe you. And this was really important to me that I learn enough to really be able to teach others. And so I was able to change. And for me, it's been a permanent change. It will tell me you don't need to spend money on that, Doris. No, you don't need to spend money on that. Stay focused on this.
Mm-hmm.
So you can change how your mind talks to you. It's still trying to do the same thing to help me learn, but it's trying to protect me from learning in ways that really cost me more money than I really need to be spending at
Yeah.
this time.
Mm-hmm.
So certainly that's helped me, and so that's what I help clients do, to identify that energy that really is stopping there.
Mm-hmm.
That energy can have a name like procrastinator that we all understand, or it can just be an energy that's stopping you, that's
Mm-hmm.
creating pain in your body. That can be doing, but finding a way to invite that energy into conversation, learn why it's doing what it's doing. It has a reason. And then going back and dialoguing with it to allow it to support you in the way that it's been designed, but to support you in a new way.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I think all that's very, very important. The thing is, too, I think you're talking about shadow work and you're talking about having people deal with the ghosts of their past. So, because when you're dealing with anything dealing with the mind,
Yes,
especially things that affect you historically,
yes,
it's that shadow work, and people run away from it because they put the mirror up and they see their reflection and they choose not to deal with it. And I think what you're doing is really, really important because you're showing people the ways in which they can resolve these issues without feeling overwhelmed because you're the
right. Because I don't want them to wallow in the emotion of that energy.
right, right, and you're the coach, right.
I
Mm,
want them to really to speak to that energy, not let's talk about and change the past. We can't change the past, but let's
mm,
talk about how you can support me in moving forward. Because the energy
exactly.
wants to, it's going to stay there. So don't try and get rid of it. No,
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm,
use it to move you forward and get
mm,
it to support you in a new way. But
mm-hmm,
it's gotta relate to your emotion. It's gotta be important. So it's not like changing, the recipe for Thanksgiving dinner. It's gotta be
mm.
something that really is important in your life.
Yeah, the signal something, yeah.
Yes,
Mm-hmm, mm. It's like what I referenced before, it's like the marker. It's like
yes,
it's marking a specific incident or action in time.
right. And
The
and and
marker.
and, and every psychologist seems to create different terms for it. So shadow work, all of those things, or cells, as Helen Sidra called it. other psychologists call it parts, subpersonalities,
Mm-hmm.
many egos. I mean, it's got lots of different names,
Mm-hmm.
but it's mental energies
Yeah.
that really are managing us.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. As opposed to our getting in there and controlling it because we are the pilots of the plane, but we've now turned it over to an, a co-pilot with no experience,
Yes.
but wreaking havoc,
Yes.
wreaking havoc within our lives and within our consciousness. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
So Doris, do you speak to a specific demographic or do you use this
Well,
model for anyone of any age?
well, certainly adults, but the ideal client typically is near or over 40.
Mm-hmm.
Now, my assumption is, because I haven't done any of the research on this, is is our when we turn 40, we're entering a different phase of life.
Mm-hmm.
Young people in their 20s and 30s are still in a state of dream. I'm trying to find the right man, a woman. I'm trying to find the right career,
Mm-hmm.
not recognizing there's something inside of me that might be limiting me in any of those areas.
Mm-hmm.
But as we near or go over the 40s, between our 40s and our 50s, we begin to know, oh, there's something I want to do, I need to do that I'm not able to do.
Mm-hmm.
What is it? Why is it? And how can I change that? When I call that the pusher energy in us. You want to move forward, but there's some mental energies holding us back, either causing us to procrastinate, to uh, really drain our energy, to get stressed out. All of those things are happening to us until we can figure out what part of me is stopping me,
Mm-hmm.
and how do I convince it to support me.
Mm-hmm.
I can't change it. I can't get rid of it. Oh, no, no, no. As you say, it's a marker within us, and
Mm-hmm.
it's going to stay there. But
Mm-hmm.
can you get it to collaborate with you,
Mm-hmm.
support you? Sometimes you're going to have to, I promise, if you support me, I'll do this.
Mm-hmm. I
Um,
like playing games with my unconscious mind like that. I
yeah,
will reward you in this way. So you're looking
yes,
forward to it. So you're participatory. Like, wow, okay.
I know, I know. And the more people that can understand this and learn to use it in their life, it would help us age more gracefully, because we're going to age.
Yes. Yes.
We're going to age, but you can age gracefully, and
Yeah.
you're supporting them in moving from the first, second, or third career, which is really important. But how do you age consciously?
Yeah. I like that.
Yeah.
And this is having you call forth all of those parts of you to be
Yes.
present. Because like I was saying, how people get in their car on the weekends and they drive to the job because they are not present. They're not being mindful. They're not in the present moment.
Yes.
So this is making them more aware, more cognizant
Yes.
of what's going on with them and to take some responsibility without judging you. Without
Right.
judging you. It's not about judgment. It's
Right. Awareness is first. You got to be aware of what's going on.
yeah, yeah,
Then evaluate and identify what energy might be causing this within me.
yeah, yeah.
And,
The triggers.
and can I have a conversation with that energy?
Mm,
Now, it can be journaling. I tried to have conversations by journaling, but I can't write fast enough to write what my mind is saying.
mm,
But if I speak it and get it recorded in my computer, it is either slowing my mind down, or I can talk as fast as my mind is speaking to me.
mm-hmm,
So people have to find the way that works for them in terms of having these conversations and recording it. But these energies, you don't just have one conversation. You go back and talk to it. You can learn from it.
mm-hmm.
You can negotiate with it. You can collaborate with it. But if your mind's not supporting you, and so I help people get the support of their mind.
Yeah, it's around. And the way what you said is so true. I've had to trick my mind to do things that I may not have desired to do. Like,
Mhm.
okay, if you clean up this area of the house, then you would get a chance to have a smoothie.
Yes, yes, yes.
Do this. And so everything that I proposed is positive. It's not like, okay, you do this and you can eat pork all day. No, it's nothing like that. That would that would probably literally kill me. But it it has to be in the moment. That's what I like about it. And
Yeah,
stay in the moment, stay in your present state of the body, and take accountability and responsibility for your life, as opposed to having those external things, like I said before, control you. You have an internal
right. So it doesn't replace any of the practices that people have already that's working,
right,
whether it's meditation or mindfulness practices. All of those things I've used and they're very positive. But
right,
sometimes you want to change how your mind is managing you.
right.
And that's what I love teaching people how to do.
hmm
Yes.
hmm Rather than being a bystander and accepting everything that comes to
To
their
your
way,
mind.
they see that they have choice. They can, you know,
Right.
choose
And
to.
some people call it my mind is lying to, but your mind is not lying to you. It's using old information every day of your life. It might be reminding you of something that a memory or thought you formed at age 5. Even before, actually, the mental energies we formed before we were even in kindergarten are often our strongest mental energies because that happened in our home environment
Yeah.
with our siblings. Those are very powerful. So I remember some of the clients whose relationship with their siblings changed by having these conversations
hmm
because they were blaming their siblings for missing out on love or attention or all of those things. And the child was too young to even have consciously be able to do that. But people grow up believing there was one of their siblings that was against them
hmm
without recognizing that's a belief I formed that is not true.
Yeah.
And you would think, well, why don't you just talk to your sibling? But we don't have the words to have a conversation about something that's going on inside of you.
hmm hmm
Hopefully one day we will, but at this point in time, most people don't talk about my thoughts. I've been thinking you don't like me. We don't do it, because the person be going, what do you mean? What? I didn't do anything. So it's hard to have those conversations unless both people are conscious of their mental energies. Because both of us have an inner child. And when those inner childs are in conflict, we're really fighting over things that no longer matter. And the number of people who don't
That's
enjoy
true.
or don't go home for holidays because of something that happened when they were a child is it's heartbreaking.
Yeah. 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 No, it's true. We carry the scars as a badge of honor, as opposed to releasing it, really get to the root of why that uncomfortable thought or emotion or action is there.
Right.
So once, as opposed to trying to sweep it under the rug,
Yes.
you're addressing it and saying, you've been here for a minute. Let me see what your purpose is, thought. And thoughts can change. Just because you have a thought, it doesn't mean that you have to stay married to it.
Right.
Um,
And if that thought can tell you why it's formed, then you can go, let's talk about that. Because it formed for a good reason. Because you were young and you no longer got the attention you needed. So
mhm,
you blamed it on a sibling. Whatever the reason, it happened long, long ago. And
mhm.
it's still managing you.
Yeah,
It's still managing us.
I know a person whose whose mom transitioned now over 30-something years ago.
Uh-huh.
And she still expresses tears as if it happened yesterday. And that's not normal. You know, you're not in the moment and you are punishing yourself for something that you had no control over. But every time she hears a certain song or things come at a certain time of the year, those are her triggers.
Yes.
Those are her triggers. Yeah.
Wow. Now, one of the other things that, and it's not, I don't do this in my 6-session conversation with your subconscious mind, but it often comes up. These beliefs and these parts that Helen Sidra Stone identified are different and they are managed differently. You can clear beliefs using a different methodology that I teach people than you would change that procrastinator energy within you. But it's hard to, at least it was hard for me to identify the difference in a belief and a self. And sometimes you have to listen to the stories that the people tell you till you go, we're not talking about a self, we're talking about a belief.
Mm-hmm.
And beliefs, my teacher who has a belief clearing methodology, he now is working with the social services department in New Jersey, teaching social workers how to help people clear beliefs. And he's been very successful because if you can clear a belief, that's an energy that really is, with the clients that I've had, I mean, it's a childhood wound that is very deep. And until you go through a methodology that allows you to actually clear it from your system, it's managing your whole life.
Mm-hmm.
So that's another powerful methodology that I teach as well.
Mm.
But that one I do one-on-one. That I don't do that in group sessions. That's one-on-one.
But
Clear.
at this time, Doris, what I want to do before
Yes,
the time
runs
gets
out.
away from us, please give us your contact information. How can people get in touch with you?
Okay, what would I normally give out? I've got email addresses and phone numbers, or should I give my website? What would you suggest?
You could do all three.
Okay. My email address, the easiest one to understand is coach.doors at
Mm-hmm.
yahoo.com.
Mm-hmm.
That's sort of the one that I look at every morning. And my phone number, that you can, it's a cell phone, so you can message me or call it. It's 770-329-2044. Now, actually, it's best if you message me first because I get a lot of calls that are spam.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't always answer phone calls where there's no name or who the person is.
Mm-hmm.
So text me first and say, Doris, I'd like to talk to you or something like that, and then we can arrange a convenient time. And
Mm-hmm.
my website is deepcoachingportal.com.
Mm.
And on that website, you will learn about my different services and including my podcast series that I just started just actually this month.
Mm.
So it's my introductory podcast series. So I want to teach people 5 minutes a week to understand their mind.
Mm.
And this can go on for the rest of your life. There's so much to understand about our minds that it could go on for the rest of your life and you still
Yeah.
wouldn't know everything.
Yeah.
But a little each week, I think could be helpful. Because
Mm.
what I teach is not something that is academic. You can go, oh yeah, I know that. That's happening in me. That happened when I was, I know that.
Mm-hmm.
So
It's more
please,
experiential. It's experiential.
yes. So please go to deepcoachingportal.com and also you can arrange an appointment through my website as well for us to talk.
Mm-hmm.
But thank you for that opportunity.
Yeah, I think it's so wonderful for people to have someone like you who's non-judgmental, who's there to coax, COAX, and coach, COACH.
Yes, yes,
on their journey, because there are people who would like to do things differently, but they just don't have the tools and they
right.
don't know where to go. They turn to their family members, which can be the worst thing to do, because they won't allow you.
Oh, yes, it could be. It could be.
Yeah, because they won't allow you to break out of that stereotypic mode that you set for yourself years ago.
Yes.
So I think having you as a coach, uh, Coach Doris is experienced through so many different professions. She's knowledgeable. She brings a spiritual energy
Absolutely.
to the coaching session. It's not just theoretical and mimicking what uh, Freud had to say, or Jung, or any of those people. She's bringing her own special energy to help you on your journey and to help light the path upon which you are walking. So,
And techniques that you can begin to use and practice
mm-hmm,
with.
mm-hmm. So I think it's really important because she's giving you the tools to help you go further, to accelerate. And that's really important. And she's going to be there with you each
Yes.
step along the way. She's not going to give you materials and say, you go figure it out. If you could figure it out, you wouldn't be seeking her services, right?
Well,
So,
yeah, there's a lot of things. I read a lot of Helen Stone's books, but it's nothing like experience to really teach you.
mm-hmm,
You can read the words and you can go, oh yeah, that would be good. But
mm-hmm,
you've got to experience, and that's what I offer in my course series. Not just me telling you about things, but having you experience it
mm-hmm,
and getting feedback.
mm-hmm, mm-hmm. Which is really important because sometimes we stay within our heads
Yes.
and hear that, like I said before, those negative tapes, and they can have you do some very interesting things. You're listening to those voices telling you you're not good enough. You're not good enough. You will never make partner in a law firm. You would never own your own business. You would never uh, attract your life's partner. So Coach Doris is the one to help you self-actualize, because that's what we're talking about.
Absolutely, absolutely.
Yeah, to go deeper within the recesses of our beings and our souls to deal with the energy that we've been putting off, because you can't, it is not possible to heal if you don't deal with the root cause. What is the root cause?
Yes.
You have to. You have to.
And it's nothing to fear. We're not, we don't, I'm not a therapist. We're not going to spend time dealing or wallowing in the past.
Mm-hmm.
We're going to identify situations and talk about how to move it forward. Not
Mm-hmm.
move, we're not going to go back and clean up the past. We can't, but we can move forward.
Oh, definitely.
Yes.
Definitely. Well, I have had a wonderful time with you,
I appreciate you.
Doris.
I've
Yeah.
enjoyed this. Yes.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
when like minds,
Yeah.
they
Connect. Yeah. Like minds connect. So, in closing, what would you like to impart in closing to our listening audience? What would you like them to leave with?
Well, it's all about love, actually.
Hmm.
Learning to love what our mind has brought us through
Mm,
and loving it enough to support it to take us all the way through.
mm,
And that's why I use the name of one of my courses, Learn How to Love the Voices in Your Head.
mm,
But unfortunately, no one knew what that meant.
mm-hmm,
So, but people should, most people understand, although they don't know how to do it, how to have having a conversation with my subconscious mind. They can at least understand how that might be valuable.
mm-hmm,
So please join me. I'd love to support you.
mm. That's so wonderful. But we know, Coach Doris, that you have the skills, the expertise, the patience, the compassion, the wherewithal to make sure that people who have the wonderful opportunity to interact with you, for them to be able to succeed and go further on their journey.
Absolutely.
So we thank you so much, Coach
Thank
Doris. It's been an honor and a pleasure. And for those of you who want to know more about Great Lives on the Rise, go to Oyende Enterprises, like I said before, OYINDE Enterprises, ENTERPRISES.com, and then click on the tab Great Lives on the Rise, and we will be waiting for you. We are here every Sunday, 7 p.m. to 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, but you can look at our program, our podcast, any day of the week at any time, because it becomes recorded after it airs live. So tell your friends about it. Tell everyone, right? We used to be a well-kept secret, but with over 10,000 to 12,000 views, we are no longer. So we're inviting you to join us in our community and to like, subscribe, and to pass it on to others. Thank you, beloveds. So enjoy until the next time, and be well. Thank you so much for joining us for this episode of Great Lives on the Rise, being brought to you by Jamila Scents, which is the product line of Oyende Enterprises. Jamila Scents is a 100% natural aromatherapy line that heals the mind, body, and soul. This episode of Great Lives on the Rise was intended to uplift you, to inspire you, and to motivate you. Please tell all of your friends, family members, and anyone you know who's 50 plus, who's living a vibrant life and interested in doing more and enjoying life even to its fullest. So thank you, and please subscribe, like, and comment on this video and all our videos. Thank you, and until next time, until our next podcast, namaste and be well.